Disrespect. You feel it in your gut when it happens. That sting of someone treating you like you're nothing, like you don't matter, like you're beneath them. It burns, and if you don't handle it right, it kills your confidence. Maybe it was your boss who mocked you in front of your co-workers. Maybe it was your girlfriend who disrespected you with a low blow, daring you to react. Maybe it was some guy in your social circle who always finds a way to make you feel small, and every time you let it slide, it eats away at you. You replay it in your mind. You think about what you should have said, what you could have done, but the moment's gone. And now, they think they can do it again. And they will, unless you stop it right now. This isn't about handling disrespect. It's about ending it forever. By the end of this video, you won't just know how to stop it. You'll have 5 brutal, unshakable, dominant ways to make sure nobody dares to cross you again. If you're ready to hear the truth, drop a "respect is non-negotiable" in the comments. Number 1. The silent kill. A lion doesn't react to a barking dog. It doesn't snarl, it doesn't flinch, and it sure as hell doesn't bark back. It just exists in its power. And the dog? It either cowers in fear or keeps barking like a fool. That's the exact frame you need when someone disrespects you. They want a reaction. They want you to snap. They want to control the energy. The second you react, you've already lost. Men fail because they think they need to defend themselves. They think explaining themselves will change the way people treat them. But the truth is, the more you try to prove yourself, the less people respect you. They smell insecurity. They see weakness. The moment you try to justify your worth to someone who doesn't respect you, you are begging for validation. That's not power. That's submission. The silent stare is a psychological weapon that most men will never master. When someone crosses the line, say nothing. Just look them dead in the eye. Hold the silence. Let them feel it. People can't handle silence because it forces them to confront their own actions. They'll start stammering, trying to fill the void with nervous laughter, trying to justify themselves. That's when you know you've won. Imagine you're sitting with a group of people and one of them throws a passive-aggressive comment at you. They expect you to get defensive, argue, or try to explain yourself. Don't. Instead, lock eyes with them. Say nothing, just let the silence stretch. Watch how uncomfortable they get. Watch them fidget, look away, start backtracking. The moment you break eye contact first, you lose. But if you own the silence, you force them into submission without saying a word. This isn't just for men dealing with other men. This works brutally well in modern relationships. Women test men all the time. A disrespectful remark, a sarcastic joke at your expense, a test to see if she can knock you off your frame. Most men fail because they either laugh it off like a fool or get emotional like a weakling. A man who is truly powerful, he doesn't react. He lets the weight of silence crush the disrespect where it stands. A girl throws a disrespectful joke at you. Say nothing. Hold eye contact. Let her feel it. She will fold. She will explain herself. She will start retracting her words. Because deep down she realizes she crossed a line and that you're not a man to mess with. The moment she starts explaining, the power shifts entirely to you. But the weak man will do what? He'll laugh. He'll try to joke back. He'll explain himself like an idiot. And in that moment, he loses respect. It's why women don't respect nice guys. They don't respect pleasers. They don't respect men who let things slide. They respect men who stand in their power unaffected. Women admire strength. They despise weakness. And silence, that's pure, unshakable strength. Disrespect is a test. It's a test that most men fail. But when you master the silent stare, you make a loud statement without ever opening your mouth. You show that you're not someone to mess with. And once people feel that, they will never dare to disrespect you again. Number 2, scarcity effect. Most men have it backwards. They think if someone disrespects them, they need to explain why it was wrong, demand an apology, or have a big confrontation. But the truth is, the most powerful move you can make when someone crosses the line is to disappear. The greatest punishment you can give someone is your absence. People don't respect what they have easy access to. They don't value what's always there. The second you stop being available, people start realizing your value. When someone disrespects you, don't argue. Don't fight for their approval. Don't give them a second chance. Just disappear. A girl disrespects you in a relationship, pull away instantly. No explanations, no warnings, just leave. Watch how fast her attitude changes. The second a woman feels your absence, she starts rethinking everything. She realizes you are not like the other men who chase and beg. She realizes she's dealing with a man who walks away the second he isn't valued. That's when respect kicks in. A weak man argues with her. He tries to convince her that she shouldn't talk to him like that, and she loses all respect for him. A strong man, he just disappears. He lets her feel the loss. And when she reaches out wondering why you're distant, you don't explain anything. She already knows why. The same rule applies in friendships. You have a friend who constantly throws disrespectful comments your way. A weak man will try to laugh it off or call them out like a school teacher. A strong man just removes himself, stops texting, stops calling, stops making plans, just gone. At first, they won't notice, but when they finally do, panic sets in. Suddenly they wonder what happened. They realize they've lost something valuable, and that's when they change. But a man who constantly tolerates disrespect, argues, explains himself, he gets walked all over for life. People see him as cheap, disposable, easy to manipulate. At work, this is even more brutal. Most men think if they just work harder, their boss will respect them. But the truth is, the more available you make yourself, the less they value you. Want to know how to instantly command respect at work? Stop over-explaining yourself. Stop volunteering for everything. Stop always saying yes. Make yourself scarce. Be the guy they can't afford to lose. And suddenly, they start treating you differently. When you're always there, always available, always ready to please, people take you for granted. But the second they feel your absence, they start valuing you. Women crave what they can't have. Friends respect what they don't always get access to. Bosses admire what they can't fully control. The most powerful message you can send to anyone who disrespects you: disappear. No words, no warning, just gone. They will feel your loss. They will realize your value. And when they come crawling back, you get to decide if they're even worth your time anymore. Number 3, verbal kill shot. Weak men talk too much. They think that explaining themselves is the key to respect. They think defending themselves will make people change their behavior. But the brutal reality is that the more you talk, the less they respect you. People disrespect you because they believe they can get away with it. They see an opening, a weakness, an insecurity, and they exploit it. And every time you try to argue, explain, or prove yourself, you are giving them even more power. Most men think that when someone disrespects them, they need to come up with a clever comeback, something witty, something sharp. But the truth is, you don't win by arguing. You win by controlling the frame. The strongest men in history weren't the loudest in the room. They were the ones who controlled the energy without effort. When someone disrespects you, you don't argue, you don't debate, you don't justify. You end the conversation in one sentence. That's it. That's how you shut it down instantly. When a guy mocks your ambitions, you don't explain why you're working hard. You don't justify your dreams. You just say, "That's cute," and you move on. No engagement, no explanation, just dismissal. Because the second you dismiss them, you strip them of all their power. A woman tries to disrespect you with a sarcastic comment. You don't laugh nervously. You don't try to prove yourself. You smirk, say, "That's adorable," and you let the silence do the rest. She will feel it. She will know she crossed a line, and she will respect you more for it. Your co-worker tries to flex on you, showing off how much better they think they are. You just laugh lightly, shake your head, and keep working. That's it. That's the kill shot. That's how you handle disrespect without ever letting them pull you into their weak energy. When you argue, you give them control. When you react, you show weakness. When you keep your frame and shut it down instantly, you take back your power. You make it clear that you don't play their game. You set the rules. A man who never engages in nonsense, never justifies himself, and never explains why he deserves respect. That's a man who commands respect effortlessly. Number 4, reverse disrespect. The only reason someone disrespects you is because they think they have the upper hand. They think they're above you. They think they're in control. The second you flip the frame and turn their own words against them, you expose them for the weak person they are. Most people insult or disrespect others to hide their own insecurities. They aren't strong. They're masking their weaknesses by projecting them onto you. And the moment you make them aware of that, they crumble. When someone throws a disrespectful remark at you, instead of getting defensive, you flip the script and make them question themselves. They say, "Wow, you're really taking this too seriously." You say, "You're really uncomfortable right now, aren't you?" They say, "You think you're better than everyone?" You say, "Why does that bother you so much?" They say, "Oh, you're one of those guys." You say, "And yet you're paying this much attention to me." Suddenly, they're the ones explaining themselves. They're the ones on the defensive. They're the ones feeling insecure. And the more they talk, the more they expose themselves. A man who flips the frame and makes people second-guess their own words, that's a man who never loses control. Disrespect only works when you allow it to get under your skin. When you refuse to engage on their level and instead turn the spotlight back on them, they are forced to confront their own weakness, and that's when they start respecting you. Number 5, walk away with power. The greatest power move a man can make is to walk away without a word. Nothing shakes people more than realizing they no longer have access to you. When you argue, beg, explain, or seek validation, you are showing that their words have power over you. But when you remove yourself entirely, you send the strongest message of all. When someone disrespects you, and instead of reacting, you get up and leave, you are making it clear. They are not worth your time. And when you remove yourself, that's when they start chasing. A woman crosses the line in a conversation, throwing a subtle insult to see how you'll react. Most men get emotional, argue, or get flustered. A real man, he just stops responding. He gets up, leaves, and lets her feel his absence. The next time you see her, her entire energy will shift. She'll be more respectful, more careful with her words, more attentive to your presence. Because now, she knows you are not like the other men she's tested. The same applies to work, to friendships, to social circles. If people treat you like you don't matter, then stop giving them access to you. The more they feel your absence, the more they will realize your value. A man who knows his worth never begs for respect. He enforces it through his actions. And the most powerful action of all, walking away. If you've made it this far, you already know what to do. But knowing isn't enough. You need to apply this. You need to embody this, because the moment you start moving differently, people will start treating you differently. This is not just about respect. This is about power. This is about control. This is about never being seen as weak again. If this video gave you value, Support the channel by subscribing. It helps spread this message to more men who need to hear this. Drop a comment saying, "Respect is earned, not given." Because from today forward, you take respect and you never let it go.